Today's video is a little different and a little more emotional. Let me explain. If you're new to our YouTube channel, I am hard of hearing, and I have been hard of hearing my whole life, but it wasn't until recently that I started learning how to use sign language, and I started needing it in pretty much everyday life. My kids know how to sign. My husband knows how to sign. Most of my family doesn't know, but that's fine. When we started thinking about doing the Disney cruise, I started researching into interpreters for the trip. And the reason why is when a room is loud, I can't hear anything. Nothing. So all the shows, dinner at the restaurants, that would have been impossible for me to do anything. So I asked, and Disney asked me if I needed an interpreter. Yeah, 2 weeks before we actually left, Disney said, yes, you have the interpreters. Okay, that's fine. So we'll talk about that later, what happened with Disney with the interpreters. That's fine. But the day that you are fixing to watch, I did not have the interpreters with me. It was only myself and my 4 teens. And it was the morning of Nassau, and we were not leaving the boat. We were staying. We were looking at my phone, and they had a special character meet and greet with Black Panther. And that is my favorite Avenger. You can see now what happened.
We can scan our room code right here.
There we go.
And then on my first
Good morning.
just on the right.
You enjoying vacation?
Use your fingers. My friends, if we could just wait.
I quite enjoy the food here, but maybe you could come back home to the condo with your house and my mother. What is that? She's famous for the traditional African food. Have you ever tried some food from here? It is simple. It's just like a soup with a food substitute. Y con tu cuaderno inglés y la Gonzalito, ya viene Gonzalito tu cuaderno. Oh, I heard my friend Spider-Man was there as well.
Yeah.
That's quite nice. You're seeing girls and just clean up what I used to do. I mean, Spider-Man is quite scary for his New York. Yes. Maybe we can all go to New York and look at would you all like to take pictures?
So after the kids met with Black Panther, we do not have video of what happened, so I'm trying to explain. So I was sitting there, and whenever I would meet the characters, I would sign thank you to let the characters know that I was deaf. And I know that hard of hearing is not the same as deaf, but other hard of hearing people understand what I mean when I say it's easier to say I'm deaf when I'm in places outside of my home. So I would just sign thank you to let the people know, because at this point all of the characters had been told, hey, there is a deaf woman on the boat, so be watching when she comes to meet the characters. So everyone knew, like many of the workers would ask, they would notice that I was signing with the kids, but that was my normal for the trip, was I would sign thank you to let the characters know I was appreciative of the characters meeting the kids, my teens. But this time, Black Panther signed friend to me. And I stopped and I said, wait, sign. And he said, I know a little. Then he signed come here, or he said this, and I just started crying because I was so happy to be accepted for who I am. And I was not with the teens. There was a long line of people waiting to meet him. And it was the only morning he was doing meet and greets. And it was in the kids' room on deck 2. And it was the only time that we went down there because I do not have kids that small anymore. But he motioned to me, and I went up to him, stood, right beside him, and he was signing to me. And now I can't even remember everything we said, but I told him, I said, hey, you're my favorite Avenger. And I had learned that sign from my interpreter the night before when we went to the Avengers restaurant, World of Marvel. And he was signing to me, and I started crying. And then he hugged me and said thank you for coming. We appreciate you. And yeah, so that was really cool. Well, then we went to leave. Well, again, I'm hard of hearing. I can't hear. And now I'm crying because I'm happy. Then one of the captain's crew, if you didn't know, the captain's crew have special outfits they wear. They're white, and they look different than the normal workers on the boat. But one of the captain's crew, ran to meet us before we went onto the elevator, and she said, hey, I need your room number. And I was kind of wondering, I was like, but when you did the kid's picture, you have to use your card that has your information on it. But I was like, okay, okay, it's fine. So we gave it to her again, but she did not look at our card. She only wanted the room number. I was like, well, that's weird. So then, on I think it was our last night. Maybe it was either our last night. Yeah, it was our last night. We were waiting to meet Moana, and a worker came up to us, and again, I'm hard of hearing, can't hear good, but a worker came up to us in line and said, "Hey, Black Panther has a special gift for you in your room when you're finished." Okay, thank you. Weird. Don't know. Then we go to our room and find this. I'm not going to share the special notes he gave us, but I have a special note, and then the kids have a special note from Black Panther. And that was such a cool experience. I felt like Disney and the character gave special attention to us in that moment. If you're that character, thank you, because that was so special. Because I was alone, I do not have any video of it. I had turned off the camera because I thought we were finished and I was alone. The workers will use your own cameras. They did take pictures, but we didn't have the money to pay for the special pictures that the workers snapped when that happened, but they did do that. But I am so thankful for that moment, and that is my story of how a Disney character made me cry on our Disney cruise.